Stan, here we are in the man cave. If I do seem a bit distracted again, got the little cats out on the leads, so I'm just popping my head out every now and again to make sure they haven't got tangled up anywhere. Anyway, so what have I been up to? Well, basically, the Irish Post Office can go and do one as far as I'm concerned. They've cost me £100 in the last week. I sent John Shanahan a package for a helmet, and it basically had a holiday in Ireland and came back to me because they said they wouldn't accept it at customs. Happening a lot apparently because we're out of the EU, etc. It's not my fault, you know, and I can't claim any money back. It was £25 postage because you can only claim it back if it's damaged or lost, so I've been screwed on that one. And the other one was John sent me a pile of gear over, which I'm very grateful for, and because the Irish Post Office wrote down the helmet was in there, which it wasn't, they charged, and they said it was worth €320. I got stiffed by UK customs, so I put a claim in against that. Hopefully I'll get that back, because on the weight thing it says the helmet is lighter than a couple of cloth berets he put in there, and you just think, oh anyway, that's enough of that, I suppose. So I've been planning this video today, been over to my local town. If there's any Hollywood directors or producers watching my channel, which there probably isn't, but if there is, and you're planning on making a dystopian future zombie apocalypse film, don't bother with expensive sets or getting actors made up to look like zombies. Just drop me a line, come to my local town. They're everywhere. It's like a scene out The Walking Dead. I would say that if we went to war and we had a sort of aerial warfare, like a type of blitz, the reconnaissance planes of the enemy will fly over my hometown and go, oh, well, I'll not bother. It's already been done. Yeah, my hometown's been going down the crapper since about 1980. Anyway, that's enough of the mourning. Keeping the eye on the cats. Right, okay, so what have we got here today? Top bloke, fellow YouTuber, gentleman, an all-round good egg, and a bit of a lover of the DDRT, just like myself, sent me, Jim Timber, sent me a pair of M48 magazine pouches. I think he said to me, he thought that we were chatting last night, and I think he said he thought they were East German, but unless someone else can correct me, Jim Timber has actually sent me a pair of M48 Yugoslavian magazine pouches, which is great. I didn't have any before. Now I probably should get on the old editing business. That's an M59 Yugoslavian helmet. That's why it's in the video. I should get into editing, because when Jim sent me it, it was very... Oh, what's going on here? Cats running around all over. What's going on? Right, okay, we're back to normal. When Jim sent me them, they were completely almost pasty, if you like. I don't know if they were unissued, but you see the colour in there. I did stain it a bit, and basically what I did was I mink oiled them, which is great stuff, and a bit of brown boot polish on them. And I think they've come up really well. It gives them a bit of character. Definitely a nice item. So I actually do have an M48 bolt in one of my K98Ks, but I just couldn't be bothered bringing it down. You know me. And I couldn't find a photograph of the M48 rifle in one of my books, because I've got Warsaw Pact books, what the Warsaw Pact soldiers used, but Yugoslavia wasn't part of the Warsaw Pact. They were only allied to the that setup. So yeah, I mean, this is probably something I should start getting into more. You know, when you see videos that I like to be unpolished and unprepared and unrehearsed, because that's the way I am. But it would be nice if I could go and a photograph would come up of an M48. So that's not happening yet. So just a few little facts about the M48, which if you don't know, was called the Zastava M48, designed in 1948. 1,224,000 were made. It was designed by Mauser in the Belgian M24 series, standard service rifle of the Yugoslavian People's Army from the early 50s to the early 1960s, and they went on to a version of the SKS. The bolts on the Mauser K98K and the M48 are not interchangeable. Even if it was a live firing weapon, they wouldn't. The M48 bolt is too short. We'll get to that in a minute. They're often found, now this could be why these pouches are in really good nick. The Yugoslavian maintenance program for rifles was first rate. They used to rotate them every 5 years and clean them and fill them with Cosmoline. So apparently live firing versions, if you're living in a country where you can get hold of them, or a law enforcement area where you've got a license, apparently they are in really good nick, even though they are getting on themselves. So the users of these rifles were Algeria, Burma, Chad, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iraq, various Lebanese militia, Poland, and of course Yugoslavia. And apparently in 2018 the Polish border guard got 44 of them for ceremonial purposes, because they're very similar to the pre-World War II Polish KBWZ 98A. So that's obviously for drill and moving the rifles around, etc. Standing with attention. Just checking on the cats. Oh, hang on. I'll have to pause 2 seconds. Back, I'm back. Fuck, bloody in order. They're on 2 separate like washing lines. They get tangled up with each other. Anyway, that's my life at the minute. One of them's dived in the house. Anyway, where were we? Talking about the M48. So the difference when you look at the M48 rifle, it has a sort of the top handguard. The wood is slightly raised up. There is no sort of indentation you get on a K98K rifle. Probably should have brought my K98 down, shouldn't I? Anyway, where the bolt goes in. So the bolt as well is sort of crooked at an angle like that. And where you have the ball on the end of the, use my pen, the ball on the end of your K98 bolt, the Yugoslavian one is cut away, it's flat underneath because there's no indentation in the rifle itself. So just have a look at the pouches. Now I have, for purposes of, and I think that's how they go in. Someone may correct me, please do. I wasn't sure. So these are K98 rounds, or 8mm Mauser. They're not German World War II, I don't know what they are, to be honest. But these are a rather nice item that Jim Timber sent me. And these will go on display on a mannequin somewhere. They're still a bit, actually, because I polished them earlier, they're still a bit tacky. So probably need to dry out a bit. They're a bit stiff. There you go. It's on, there you go. So they're quite... Jim obviously hopefully watch this video and he'll go, oh, they don't look anything like the one when I sent you the condition, because they have polished up rather nicely. So that's my video today. 7 or 8 minutes, nearly 7 minutes of me talking utter bilge as always. So let's put that little display up. Sit there straight, will you? So M59 Yugoslavian helmet, M48. Where's that? What's that? Was that a cat running around? I better sign off here. The cats are running around all over. Right, so my wife will kill me if anything happens to them. M59 helmet, M48 Yugoslavian ammunition pouch, and 8mm Mauser rounds. This is Stan. See ya.